Welcome back everyone, Exotic Grunt Gaming here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video about vMA and really starting out basic, and this is going to serve as a guide to people who are just beginning and starting out, trying to get into it, and also kind of a tutorial on the mechanics and maybe even a guide to people who have gone through it who want to improve their score, try different builds, different classes, etc., etc. I'm not going to go over every single class, but this video is to definitely serve as a starting point for most people. I've cleared it quite a few times now, almost all the different classes, Magic and Stam, and I've learned a few things about it that I'd like to share with anybody who's trying to complete it. So we're going to get started. First thing to note, Veteran Maelstrom Arena. It is located here in Rothgar, right there. To go into it, you have to, if you want to do veteran mode, you have to go here. I know some people recommend to do it on normal first to learn the things. I strongly advise against that. Reason being, if you're max CP now and you haven't gone through it yet, going through normal is going to give you an accurate sense of how to play by the mechanics, and you have to play by most of the mechanics in vMA. There are some that you can kind of skirt around depending on your class, but most classes you're going to have to play by the mechanics, and I'll touch base on those a little bit more here in a second. But yeah, so it's located in northern Rothgar, but let's touch base on how to get started in determining who you want to bring there. If you only have one class and one character, then you're going to want to go with that one. If you have a bunch of different characters and you're trying to determine which one you want to bring in there, my first advice would be bring whichever one you feel most comfortable with. If you feel pretty comfortable with most of them, then I'll give some further advice. Do it on a Sork. The Sork has some passives and some skills that are very, very forgiving. And one ability mainly that's very forgiving is this. It's Critical Surge or Power Surge if you're doing Magic. You get, on this Critical Surge, it's Major Brutality. On Power Surge, it's Major Sorcery. Increasing your weapon damage on this by 20%, on the other by 30%, or I'm sorry, on the other by 20%. You have it for 33 seconds. That's not necessarily the big thing because you can use potions that do the same thing. The main thing here is that it gives you 3,000 healing every time you do a critical strike. Every second. Occurs every second. So basically you're healing for 3,000 health every second in the fight as long as you're keeping your dots up. So this is huge. Some other good passives. Where is it? Nope. Wait. Yeah. Reduces magic and stamina cost abilities by 5%. That's nice. And then Daedric Summoning. Reduce cost of ultimate abilities by 15%. Also very nice, especially for vMA, using ults as much as you can. And we don't have a Daedric Summoning ability slotted for vMA, so it doesn't really matter. And then, let's see, Storm Calling. These are where a lot of the good passives come. Magic Recovery, that's going to be really good on a Magicka Sorcerer. It's alright on the Stam Sork. Physical and shock damage by 5%. Awesome. Implosion, this one typically hit, and then expert increased weapon and spell damage by 2% for each Sork ability slotted. So on the front bar you get an extra bit there. If you want to really max it out, you could throw Critical Surge or Power Surge on the front bar, but that's getting ahead of it. So my point here is that the Sork has a lot of really strong passives that are very forgiving in vMA when you're trying to learn the mechanics and how to manipulate them and play by them. It's one of the easier classes. Now, is it the class that gets the highest scores? Not necessarily. Most people play on it, so it's really hard to get on the leaderboards with it. But it's Magicka Nightblade, I find, can breeze through there more quickly. It's a little more dangerous, but more quickly. But the reason that I am saying choose a Sork in general and not just a Mag Sork is because if you're someone who's used to playing as a stamina tune, and really only play that, and you haven't really played Magicka characters at all, I would highly recommend to stick with the Stamina Sorcerer, because you're going to have a better idea of how the class works instead of trying to learn a new class or a new playstyle while you're trying to also learn the mechanics. The point of this is to have you in the most comfortable character that you're on, go in there, and then only have to worry about learning mechanics with that. Um, Other really important skills and passives to have if you're running Stam, Vigor, obviously, but Undaunted, make sure you have that. It gives you a little bit of health. I recommend having 17, oh, I don't have my food on, but 17k or higher health is very highly recommended. Um, because there are some things in there that are like one shots. Sometimes you don't have time because so many things are hitting you at once. So I recommend using that. Let's see next. If you are running Stam, Essence of Weapon Power, it's really good. And then if you're running Magic, you can even do, if you're running the Sort, you can just do the Essence of Critical. Uh, Essence of Spell Crit, Essence of Weapon Crit. That way, you're not using extra mats for something that you already have when you apply Critical or Power Surge. Again, food, Tri-Stat food. If you're on a Mag Sort or a Magicka Tune, I recommend running Witch Mother's Potent Brew, especially with Magicka Sorcerer, since you can reach 17k just with some of the passives that you have. Um, I would run the Recovery food. You can run Dubious Camoran Throne on here too. For gear, if you're running a Stamp Tune, the basic gear setup, some people will dispute between Hunting's Rage and Twice Fang or Night Mother's Gaze. What I recommend is at least Vicious Ophidian. So much recovery and movability or mobility. And then you can swap out between Hunting's Rage or others. Stormfist or Veladreth both work really well. 2 daggers, and I use the Maelstrom bow. You can use Master's bow or a random bow on the back bar. Spriggans also works if you don't have access to this gear, but I like Hunting's Rage is not hard to get, and Vicious Ophidian. I know Alcast put it out earlier. Like you can get this jewelry in blue, and the 5-piece bonus is so much stronger on this, even in blue quality, than having it be gold or purple. It really doesn't make a difference. So highly recommend getting VO. It's not that hard to get. Do some normal trial runs. All the Craglorn trials drop it. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Next, we'll go into a recording that I took of me on my Magicka Nightblade, and I will just talk about some of the different mechanics through the fight. And yeah, we'll get right into it. All right, so now we're going to be talking about going through vMA, and I'm going to take this recording that I took of my flawless run with my Magicka Nightblade. We're going to talk about some of the different mechanics, strategically hitting each sigil and when to use them, and when you need them. That'll come with determining on your own, but let's get started. So starting out on this one, you see all these moving blades. You can stop them from moving with these switches, where you'll see the ads are spawning. I don't, however, necessarily recommend it. I recommend getting used to maneuvering around them and healing through them and applying your shields if you're running on Magicka, or if you're on like a Stamp Sork, making sure that you are using your Power Surge, or I mean Critical Surge, and attacking ads constantly. 3 ads will typically spawn at a time. This guy is not necessarily a mini boss. He's like a round mini boss. The Centurion, they're pretty easy to take down. But keep moving in circles around these blades. They go in a full circle. The inner ones travel faster, outer ones travel slower. So just get used to kind of maneuvering and footstepping. To start out, you can definitely hit those switches. The problem is if you rely on it too much, they're not always there to hit to stop it. There's like a cooldown timer. The Dwarven Sphere that you just saw I took down, highly recommend taking him out as quickly as possible. They have a range tech that's really powerful, and then their melee is, if you don't have your shields up, it can take you down pretty low, and then combined with the bleed from the spinning blades, it can kill you pretty fast. You see right there, the Centurion was getting kind of charged by that Dwarven Spider. Highly recommend to take out those spiders as quickly as possible. If they get charged up like that, on this round it's a little more forgiving, but on the 4th arena, it'll hurt when, especially those Dwarven Spheres right there. If they get charged up by them, it hurts bad, like really bad. Yeah, I mean, you could just see the Nightblade just absolutely blows through these ads. Same things that's going on. If you get too close to the center and it's in that electricity phase like that, it'll knock you back. If you hit the switch, you can run into the center. It'll be like a healing thing for you. But as you can see, like I really only stick in like a small little area. Now this is the boss round. Try and get this guy down as quickly as possible. Save your ult and put it on him. Try and burn through him and kill him before he even goes into this next phase. I almost died there. I was getting too aggressive. So you see he has like no health, but he goes into immunity phase after a certain amount of damage and time. And then you have to attack the next one. Then they'll go into the immunity phase, and then a third one will spawn. It seems kind of crazy. Keep it under control by keeping the pressure on the bosses. Do not go on the defensive too much, or else they're just going to overwhelm you, and you're going to run out of all your resources. And if they're below a certain amount of health, they'll just keep auto going back into that phase. So you're going to have to kind of stick between these other two bosses in my screen at the moment. I didn't notice that until I thought I'd be able to get something off on him, but I couldn't. So you just do that. Heavy attack weave to get some resources back. That goes for both magic and stamina. Yeah. If you kill the first boss, like he has only like 2,000 health. If I had killed him, it would have been much faster. The problem is it alternates the whole time, and have to wait to kill him right here. Yeah, it's 6,000 health. It's like a light attack. There you go. So that's the second round. And it's my voice in the background in Discord with Khajiit. Yeah, and here I was just changing the combat queue colors to pink. You can skip forward past that. Where are we? There we go. So on this one is... It depends. Some people will have an easier time on this. Stamp tunes, it's a little easier than the last one. Ads will spawn on each island. The water, as you can see at the moment, is okay to walk in. This is a little healing rift thing that you can step in as well. There will be stranglers that pop up, usually in the water, and they will slow you. They put a slow on you, kind of snares you. So take them out quick, because as you can see, I'm walking so slow at the moment until it dies. Mini boss, the little round boss, is coming in. This one's a big Wamasu. He does the heavy attacks. I grab a sigil here just to be safe, because if you get hit by one of his kind of attacks, it can kill you. I don't know if you'll get a chance to see it on this. No. But he'll shoot out lightning balls out of his stomach, basically. Or out of his ass, I don't know. And that'll hurt. Always kill ranged first, in my opinion. They hurt way more than the melee ads in here. Like, getting hit by the arrows and the ice heavy attacks from some of these ads just hurt so much. Here I grab another shield because of this ad, or this mini boss right here. She has a heavy attack that will basically knock you flat. It's like a wrecking blow. It's almost a one shot. If you're missing any health and she hits you with it, it's a one shot. So I save ulti for her. I save ultis for all these mini rounds except for the second to last one. I'll show you why you save it. These Lamias, they have this little spectral, ethereal versions of themselves. You don't have to kill them, just kill the main one, and it will take care of the other one. Don't waste your time on the spectral ones. Keep buffs up. White buffs. All right, so this boss, don't use ult on her unless you like really have to. Kill the ads first, like the range ads. As you can see, they like really hurt. I don't know. They hurt you bad. She'll pull you in too. And you can see the water right now. It's electrified kind of. Don't step in it. It'll hurt you quite good. She's not too hard to kill. All right, so this is the final round. Put your dots down. I grab the shield just because she will stun and she does a heavy attack and her ability, whatever, really, really hurts. If you think you can burn through her fast enough, you don't have to worry about ads. But if this is your first time through, I recommend getting ads and that strangler in the back. I didn't, and I almost still died. Luckily, I grabbed the shield, so I was kind of a little bit more safe. Um, but I mean, there's just so many ads, and you're slowed. I try and keep it to one island, keep my dots on her the whole time, keep the pressure up. That's because I'm a little more comfortable with putting my shield into my rotation, basically. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what the mats are for Magicka movability pods for PvP. Um, what else about that round? Really just using sigils when you need them. As you can see, like the only one I used was the shield. That one I find pretty useful because I don't need the extra damage. If you do, use the damage one. If you need a little bit more movability, I keep saying it, a little more mobility, you can hit the winged ones. Those sigils they're pretty good. I don't know. Some people really like them. I don't necessarily. So I don't want to move the ads around too much. I want them to sit in my dots so I can burn through them. I like the healing one and the shield one because it makes you the tankiest. And if you're intimidated by Maelstrom Arena, the best thing you can do is get into Maelstrom Arena. Just start running through it. Also, put on Raid Notifier to know when your food runs out, and also have some kind of timer for your pots that displays on your screen a little more easily if you rely on them heavily. Um, other than that, also, what's the other one? I had another piece of advice. Oh, Surrendar or some type of buff tracker, because you're gonna have to know when your shields are running out or your buffs are up. If you don't have any buffs on, you're gonna be ripperoni. Also, repair after every round. Get in the habit of that. Unless you're like going for crazy heavy score runs and you like only want to repair on one run or one round. Always recommend repairing just in case. Because if your gear runs out, it's only gonna make the arena so much harder if it's your gear's destroyed. Let's see. So this is the fourth one, fourth arena. Similar to the second one in terms of ads. Some of the ads are very similar, the dwarven spiders and whatnot. Yes, that's flywheel. These guys are pretty easy. Those are the ranged. This round's one of the easiest ones, I think, in my opinion. Yeah. Things just melt. I don't even really have advice. Oh, so that little dwarven sphere just popped up, like the little Dwemer Theodolite that we have as pets. You want to kill them. Do not let them enrage. Not necessarily enrage, but go into their own shield phase. Because if they do, they can do what I was talking about earlier in the second round. They'll charge some of the other ads, like the dwarven spheres, make them almost impossible to kill, and they have a one-shot. Those dwarven spheres, they do that heavy attack, shoot lightning out. Don't want to get hit by it. Excuse my voice, I'm crazy sick right now, so. Ads on this one, I mean, they're really not that bad. They die pretty easily. They don't hurt too bad. The only thing to watch out for are dwarven spheres. If they pop up, focus them first. Other than that, just focus up the mini bosses. You can hold block through some of the attacks too, and it will prevent you from taking too much damage. As you can see, he has that blue shield around him. He doesn't take any damage, and ads can walk up to him and basically charge themselves. And I have 2 up. If you have 4 up, you're pretty much toast. This is one of the mini bosses. I mean, he goes down so fast. Just keep the pressure on him. Don't let the other ads kind of scare you. And wait till those shields come down and he's dead. Two light attacks, I mean, they're dead, so they're not bad to take out. Dwarven Spheres. Dodge roll is your friend, so if you need to... That's another thing I should probably talk about with CP. Shadow Ward's not bad, but we have way more Shadow Ward in Trials just because a lot of the stuns. But in VMA, like, you're not getting healed, so if you get stunned, you know, breaking free, like, you're probably dying anyways. So I prefer dodge roll to just avoid the stuns and avoid a lot of these big attacks. So I like the cost of dodge roll to be reduced by quite a bit. So tumbling is a good CP passive to kind of buff up if you want to play that way. Or the block one, you can even buff that one up a little bit if you like prefer to block a lot of these attacks so you don't take as much damage. Here we go. So here's the mini boss. Spawns a couple of these guys. They're pretty easy. You can take them out first if you want. I did just because this guy's not too much threat. He has an AoE kind of like Grothdar around him. You want to stay out of that and just keep kind of kiting and attacking, and he'll never be able to hit you if you're out of his AoE. Like, he'll never touch you. Make sure you focus those guys down before the boss round, which is right now. So this guy, he's the big old dwarven spider. So he pops up. I hit the shield one just in case, just to be safe. But when he's like this, you sit underneath him, apply all your buffs, and just go through your rotation. Just keep the damage on him. Don't worry about anything else. Keep attacking. Then he'll spawn some of these guys. Keep hurting them. Once he moves like that, put your ult down, because then he's kind of stationary. And he'll just spawn a dwarven spider. I mean, dwarven sphere. It should die with him if you have enough damage on him. That's pretty much it. That part's a little more difficult for Stam, just because you kind of have to play range with all those. You can't sit underneath them with your stamina attacks. So you gotta kite it and just hope that Endless Hail and Caltrops or whatever you're using will take him out. And that one's that. Okay, this one. This is my second least favorite arena in this entire place. So, 3 platforms similar to the Drome of Toxic Shock. These 3 little icebergs. You got to play it safe on these. They can be broken by trolls. If you see a troll, focus him down first. If he breaks this platform, 1, you lose it, and 2, you got to fight a Nereid that does crazy range damage. If the troll's not up, always focus these guys down first. Any ranged archers, they hurt. Troll's dead. Like that ice attack, I mean, it hits for so much. So focus that down. And when you walk across the water, you take damage from it. So as a stamp tune, pop a vigor before you do so and try and like roll dodge across, sprint across, something so you're not standing in it for too long. You definitely don't want to get stunned in the water. Other than that, if you're a Magicka tune, you can kind of just walk across while popping shields, save your stamp to break free. This is one mini boss. This one's super easy. Yeah. A joke. Trolls will spawn in between rounds as well, so don't think that just because the round ends they'll despawn or something. This arena works kind of differently, and some of the next ones will as well. They have a different mechanic than the previous ones. Yeah, try and get your dots to hit as many ads at once as possible. Yeah, reapply buffs. As you can see, I've only stuck on this one platform since I'm playing ranged. Kind of helps that way. I wanted to make sure I got this troll, so I moved to this one, and then just kind of make it your home. If you're playing Stam, it's gonna be this one's a little difficult. You're gonna have to use sigils a little bit more often. Each round, I'd probably hit the healing and the shield one just to be safe, running through the water if you have to. This is the other mini boss. He throws that little ice shard up and impales you. Doesn't hurt too bad, but it'll slow you. He's not hard to kill. but he will heal himself. If you want, you can let him do that so you can build resources for the next round. Want to be strategic like that, or you can just kind of nerf him. Nuke him, I mean. Nerf him. He doesn't need to be nerfed. He needs to be buffed. Ice Atronach, move. Just move, move, move. Do not let him like hit you with heavy attacks, or just get out of his range, because if he does, it hurts. And look at all this. That's why I hit the healing sigil, because there's just so many ads, so many things hitting you. So get your dots down, let him hit everything. It gets hectic. So for that part, you're just going to want to remember, weave your shields into your rotation and make sure that your power surge is applied. Because if it's not, then you're going to have a tough time. I hit the shield here just to do it, just in case. Round 4, second to last round in this arena. You get these giants. Burn them down as quick as you can. Dodge roll those attacks, block through them, whatever. Focus troll when you can. I grab the... yeah, you get stunned like that in the water. You don't want that. Kill him quick. Almost didn't... No, he did get it on mine. I hit that healing sigil because I definitely needed it. Reapply buffs. As you can see, I'm taking ridiculous damage. Almost didn't make it. I'm saving my ult, though, because I need it for later. And then I'm running the next sigil because I know it's too much damage coming in. Luckily, the Magicka Nightblade has crazy sustain, so I can kind of just spam it like that. Break free from those when you can, to keep the pressure on. Yeah, this one's brutal. I hit this sigil just because I don't have shields left. I do have shields for a little bit, but... don't worry about the bears. They're not too bad. What's worse than the bears is that other ranged, this one right here. The trolls will do an attack that sweeps on the ground. It will shoot out like a little wave of damage in each direction. Make sure you don't get hit by it. For her, put your dots down and just burn her as quick as you can. Now, something interesting to note here. When you get her down there, kill the ads. Don't focus her. Because if you do, she'll go enraged. And when she enrages, it's like actually a good thing. Also, that sweeping attack can stun you and knock you back. So she'll enrage, and when I look behind, yeah, she jumps through it. If the ads are still up and you're moving in the water, they'll still hit you. But it basically stuns everything on that platform, and she breaks it, and then that Nereid pops up. Keep the pressure on. I end up grabbing this healing sigil. She enrages again. She's going to stun this, which is okay, because I'm going to get over here. He's stunned. Kill the troll. I get CC'd by, or I get stunned by the two-hander. Pick up the shield and put the ult down and let it do the rest of the work. It'll kill all the ads. You don't have to worry about them too much. Just keep your shields up. Make sure you dodge roll that attack, because one, it hurts, two, it just opens you up to get killed by all the other ads. And that's the matriarch, and that's the final round of, or final boss of round 5. Yeah. Sets in here are garbage, I think, anyway, so I never usually pick them up. Inventory is too full. Next is Spiral of Shadows, or Spiral Shadows, excuse me. I don't know what I'm going to enter. Must have been texting my girlfriend or something. What am I doing? There we go. All right. So on this one, you see all these little totems. This one is definitely one of the more mechanically driven arenas. So all these totems get these little spider webs on them. And then there are these little Horvers that run around. When a Horver walks by it and it's in close enough range, when you kill the Horver, it kind of explodes like a pimple when it pops. And it gets rid of the webbing. I'll show you here. Rip. I missed it. But you can then interact with it, hit that, and then it pops it. So you want, at least 2 open at all times at the bare minimum, because all these little red spiders will spawn at one point and they'll attack you. You can't kill them basically. They're like invincible, but they'll like tear you apart so much so fast. So biggest thing to do is to make sure that you have at least 2 of these pop, because one totem will like that go away, but they'll still be up. So you go to the next one, and once they walk close enough to that light, they disappear. They go back underground. This I consider the Flesh Atronach mini boss here just because they're so powerful. They hit you with a heavy attack. One, they stun you, and they kind of break your armor a little bit, I think, if they hit their heavy attack. So make sure you get them down as soon as possible. You can unlock or unweb all the totems at once, and it will stun everything on the map for like 15 seconds. Or no, 10 seconds, I think. Yeah, something like 10 seconds. But then they all get re-webbed afterwards. I don't do it just because I don't really like to rely on that. I like to go into the last round with only 1 totem to unweb. But if you need the assistance on some of the mini bosses or the rounds, you can start by doing that. And as you can see, I just sit here, shield up, and those spiders will run away. Block his attack when he does that, or dodge roll if you can. Stay out of those AoE electricity things that the main boss spawns while she's watching. You just completely decimate her group. Now these guys spin the totems back up, so you got to focus them down when they pop up. Probably takes them like, I think it's like 7 seconds, I want to say. 10 sounds too long, but 5 seems kind of short. I think it takes them like 7 seconds to do it. They'll spin the totems back up, so if you don't pay attention, you're just letting them spin the webs. Then you're going to get into it, and there'll be no totems for you to stand by when there are all those red ads. So, and they're pretty easy to kill, so don't be too worried about it. I wouldn't say they're a priority. I would just say there's something to keep an eye out for. Other than that, the ads in here, their range attacks can kind of hurt, but nothing crazy to note other than the Fletch Atronach and then the other Atronach that pops up. All right, so this is one of the mini bosses. He puts up a negate. He only puts up 1, I think. I don't know. And then he does a heavy attack, which will kind of stun you, almost one-shot you if you don't have shields up. And then he does that AoE attack. If you're in it, deals a lot of damage, and it can kill you. Get the spiders off your back, and just kind of hover by the totem, keep pressure on the other ads. When you realize that they've gone underground, you can play around the map again. Also, if you're trying to get the Horver next to a totem to kill and you realize your attacks do too much damage, just do 1 light attack to kind of aggro him over to you and wait till he gets close to it. I don't recommend trying to kill him and then use the synergy to pop the totem, because it's kind of like you're stunning yourself basically. You're just standing on your own, trying to interact, and it doesn't work well. Like, I'll do it right here, and then an AoE pops under your feet. And as you can see, you stand still for any amount of time in here, and you're getting AoEs on you. So I'm constantly moving. That's the thing about vMA. Constantly moving. As you can see here, I'm on the defensive, just trying to shield up as those little spiders get away from me. Get rid of that little Atro guy, and then focus these guys down. This boss is similar to the ones in Cradle of Shadows. This whole round is basically Cradle of Shadows, or Arena. Puts that dot on you, slows you, block the heavy attack. Don't want to get hit by it. That will like one-shot you. Open you up for the other AoE to hurt you. I got really lucky that didn't... Actually, I needed that to pop there. That attack right there will one-shot you. It's almost impossible to live through. I put up the shields because I got a little ways to go, not a lot of stam. Need to get here. And I just got the other ads. These ads right after that boss will hurt pretty bad. I get that Horver to die next to that one. So now I only have 1 totem left. I've got spiders trying to spin it. There we go. So this ad... Actually, no, there's two more ads that come up, and then we're on the last wave on this round. As you can see, like there is a lot going on at once here. A lot of different mechanics that you have to focus on. It's not necessarily a crazy hard round or arena when you get used to it, but it can be troublesome. So what I do here, we're on the last round. I kill that Horver first so he doesn't pop my totem, and you'll see why. So we're going to start out. I'm going to hit this damage buff. I want to damage this boss as much as I possibly can right in the get-go. But save the ult. But put all your dots down, and then she'll spawn that. That ad right over there, the Spider Daedra, kill it because it slows you so much. Slows you harder than the Stranglers. And then I missed that ad, so I didn't get to pop the totem and stun everything, so I hit a shield just to be safe. When she enrages too much, she spawns a lot more ads, and she spawns a lot more lightning. I kill that spider just in case, and now I'm like, okay, now I need to get a Horver here. So I light attack, get him over, and put your shields up just to stay there, and boom. So everything gets stunned. This is where you go on the full offensive. So you put all your dots down if you have enough magic, hit a pot, hit everything. And you should be able to take it. I mean, it's a long stun, as you can see. And then use your execute. There you go. If you use your ult in the beginning and pop her in the beginning, then that that Atronach there will still spawn. Oh, and as I'm doing right now, make sure your weapons are charged. Like, charge them after. I wouldn't say charge them after every round. That's a lot of soul gems. But charge them after, like, every 5 arenas. So after the ice arena, charge it again. Because mine ran out in the middle of that fight. And that's a lot of my damage is from those fiery enchants. So we're moving on to my least favorite arena in all of Maelstrom Arena. And this is the Vault of Umbrage. This one sucks. I don't know what I was doing here. Probably had to go to the bathroom or something like that. Vault of Umbrage, I mean, I streamed it earlier on Twitch, but basically it's a lot of RNG. If you play mindful, you can make it around it. If you mess up, it's not very forgiving, especially not on Stam. On Magic, a little bit more so. You can make it by shielding up enough, spamming shields, and making it over to the cleansing pool. So those are the spores that will spawn. They will randomly pop sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes they just randomly pop. They have pretty big AoE explosion. If you are in it at all whatsoever, you get hit by its damage over time, and it is the nastiest damage over time I think that exists in the game. It will kill you so fast. Does not matter what your resistances are, anything. So basically the only way around it is to not get hit by it. If you do get hit by it, you can cleanse it. So that's why I play a little bit more risky sometimes, and I'm like maneuvering around the map too much, and that's the difficulty about this arena, is that the whole Maelstrom Arena wants you to be mobile, but in here, like, you have to be careful, because if you're moving too much or not near a cleansing pad, you'll die from that dot if you get hit by it. Things to note in here, trolls, they'll throw little attacks at you, it'll stun you and slow you. Dodge roll them if you can, you'll see them wind up. Archers, want to focus those down if they're on the map. One can hit you with the same dot as those spores. It's pretty easy to dodge roll it, though, or avoid it. Those venom collars that you just see, there are only 3 portals that spawn up on the whole map. The right corner, right in front here where I'm standing, and then over where you spawned in, where I'm looking right now. There. Actually, there's 4. 2 on each side and 1 in the middle. If you see a portal hovering above it, just start putting your dots down to get rid of her. Because what she does is if she's up for like 2 seconds, she'll pop all the spores on the map. So if you're standing near one, it'll hit you. As you can see, like right there, I almost got hit by it. Like really close. And then she spawns new ones that might be underneath you. So you have very little time to maneuver. That's why this round is so much about RNG and getting lucky. Dodge roll that boulder attack. And focus the troll down. They go into a phase where they get kind of stunned like this, and they start to enrage a little bit. You can kill them prior to it if you're fast enough. They're not too much worse when they're enraged, though. It's not too bad. You can pop the spores on your own if you like to clear it out, but I only recommend doing that if you're a little more experienced because it can hurt. Shield will not protect you from the debuff. Healing, the healing one will help a little bit. I don't think the shield one helps, but yeah, the best solution to it is to uh, just do that. Um, if there's two archers at once, focus one down as quickly as possible. Try and line them up like that, and that's the AoE that they do, the venom spray, poison spray, or whatever. Hits you with that same poison dot as I was talking about. Here, I'll usually try and hit a shield with the Wamasu. Oh, they also do the one-shot mechanic. Oh, and then the Venom Collar will pop up too. Block through this. Yeah, as you can see, it's just so much going on. I usually will use an alt on this Wamasu because he can really hurt. He'll stun you and then do an attack that will just one-shot you. And now you can see why this one and this round is my least favorite and a lot of others' least favorites. Round 4, biggest thing in this round, not necessarily the 2 trolls, but the 3 archers that will spawn. It's basically 3 one-shot mechanics at once, 3 of those poison dots that can hit you, or yeah, poison dots, and 3 people light attacking you for like a ridiculous amount of damage. So when the 3 archers spawn in at once, I will use the shield for that one, just to be safe. Which is right now. It's the 3rd wave of ads. So 3 archers, focus one down first. Try and line up your dots to get both of them, 2 at once maybe. Almost got hit by that dot again. Like so many close calls. Yeah, those venom collars are always priority when they pop up. So, last mini boss before the main boss. You got 2 trolls, both throwing these attacks at you. If you get hit by 2 at once, it will kind of mess you up. So, I would just recommend dodge rolling. Almost had him down. He'll die by my dots eventually, though. Then they do that attack. That one's actually not horrible. Well, actually, that hurts quite a bit. No, that looks like. Yeah, and you can hear me in the background. Almost died. All right, final round. Put your dots down, hit a healing sigil, and put alt down in the beginning. Now, this one's really, really difficult. Don't use... Well, I won't say don't use Valkyrie or Lombrus because I'm using Valkyrie now it works. So he'll hit you with that attack. Dodge roll if you can. It's a nasty bleed that lasts 14 seconds. So when these ads spawn, I hit the shield sigil. Probably shouldn't because it will kill them if their attacks reflect like that. Because what you want to do is you want to kill one and get in this shield. Don't kill both. If you kill both or kill the one near the guy, his roar will like instant kill you. And you want to sit in here. When it goes away, kill that ad instantly. It'll teleport like that, and then we'll do an AoE that's almost a one-shot. So you want to focus one of those guys down, preferably the one closest to the boss, and then go run to the one away from the boss. As you can see here, I almost have him down. Stay away from those attacks that are spawning out like that. That bleed again. Luckily, I blocked it somehow on that. Usually it doesn't work like that. And that's Vault of Umbrage. A lot of RNG. So this is usually people's worst nightmare is that one. Repair. Here I'm just talking about how it's ridiculous that vMA is still dropping arcane traits on tank gear, but that maybe it could be useful someday. I don't know. It's kind of interesting though. Especially if you're trying to use them in PvP and you don't want them to be all healthy. I'm still talking here. But the next one is the second to last arena before the final arena. It's Igneous Cistern. A lot of fire, so if you're a vampire, now would be the time to use some of those Bloody Maras to reduce your stage a little bit. Because it will, it'll mess you up. Things to note in there. There's an ad that will spawn. I'll show you where he pops up. But he's a nasty beast. He does like a fire attack, some Dremora. He he puts his staff in the air and fire swirls around it, and then he'll shoot out fireballs at you. And that hurts like crazy. That'll kill you if you don't interrupt it or kill him before he gets into that attack. Probably just taking my time here because I'm like really stressed on this run, trying to not die at all. Come on. There we go. All right. Oh, man, I'm so sick. Um, yeah, kill the two-hander first. Those flame atronachs do not hurt that bad. Two-hander will hit you and stun you and crazy amount of damage. So this is one of the fire ads. Healers will heal him. That's the attack I'm talking about. Those flame fireballs that he hits you with, they deal a stupid amount of damage. Like they'll drain your shields in one hit. Block this attack or dodge roll it. So one of those warding stones are now up. What you want to do is take it out. And now he's able to take damage. He'll do a heavy attack here. As you can see, that fire attack is ridiculous. Heavy attacks will stun you hard even if you're blocking. If you're not blocking, well, rip, because it hurts. You can save ults for those guys in each round if you have them. So I know where the spawn is here. This is the fire guy. So be ready to kill him there because he spawns right out of the gate and we'll start doing that fire attack. The shocks are a joke. They don't really do anything. I look at them as kind of like a break in the round to relax a little bit. I hit the healing one just because of how much he hurt me last time. I don't think I used my ults on him just because I'm trying to save it for some of the different fights. Yeah, these guys are just normal ads. Just kill them when you can. They're not nothing crazy to worry about. Spawn another group of them now. Two-handers, one healer. Nothing crazy. Unless you get hit by two of their heavy attacks. So here you want to take out the Warning Stone again. Same deal. Now you got a fire guy that spawns on this side. Take him out. And then you have another one of those Atros. Infernal Destroyers. Shock's a joke as well, so. Block through that attack. When he goes to slam his fist and you're in front of him, don't even try and stand in between. Just hold block and shield up. But if you're behind him when he does it, you're safe. It only goes in front of him in like a 60-degree cone or something like that. It's not very big. Round 4. So, two fire guys. They spawn on this side over here. They're lined up. I try and get behind one and hit both with my dots. Burn one down and hit your shields. You can also hit that shield sigil there to protect yourself against it. I do, however, save it for this next part, which is also pretty crazy. You have to be really quick about this part. You will rip so fast if you do not pay attention. It's not even funny. When they both start hitting you with those fire dots, like how I said earlier, one fireball will tear through your shields. Well, when two are hitting you at once, like you'll die instantly. So this part, this is the mini boss. She'll chain you in, dodge roll it. That chain is right when she spawns. She'll go immune. Not immune for very long, so try and burn her down as quick as you can. I hit the shield because she'll do these attacks. All of these attacks deal a lot of damage. I mean, that is through my shield. It's already taking my health down quite a bit. So focus her down fast. She's worse than the main boss in this arena. Main boss. Same mechanic as the rest of the arena. Just take out 3 warding stones to get her immune. In between each round, she will spawn little fire guys, Dramoras, spin their fire shields. So ulti on her in the beginning. You can do a one burn on her. As you see, the fire guy just spawned in. I focus her down, thinking I'm going to get her, but I didn't because I had to focus him. But probably could have had her with the execute. But it's not too bad though. As you can see, like she does start to move faster, and she'll hit you with a ranged dot, a fire dot. So I hit that healing sigil just in case. And I haven't even used the shield sigil yet. I mean, you can. I recommend it if you don't kill her on the first wave. Hit the shield sigil. That way, when the fire guy comes in, you have a little bit of room to breathe and make it to him to interrupt or to kill him. So now we're on to the final one. This one is challenging. Some mechanics here to note. It's not the hardest arena, not my least. Well, it's the one that took me the longest to finish the first time. But once you learn it and do it enough, it's pretty easy to maneuver it. Won't be too bad. And I'm just prepping myself here because there's no going back after this. I charge this up just in case. I don't do that one. Yeah. And that's what I'm running, if you're wondering, I guess. Oh, and then I go into passives here to look at it because I'm amazed that the Nightblade has extra health passives or whatever. I don't know why. A couple things to note about the last arena. There'll be ghosts that are constantly floating around. Their flight path is random. It's RNG. So you're gonna want to make sure that you are constantly constantly on the lookout for that and maneuvering around them, similar to round 2 with those spinning blades. It's not as deadly, but they'll take out like half your health if you don't have your shields up, and then slow you. God. What else other than that? Um, Other than that, Daedroths. Those are the main baddies that a lot of people talk about. Them and the Ogrims. Them and them Ogrims. Ogrims suck. But you'll get to see it a little more easily when we pop in, so. Okay. Uh, Here you have like a couple different classes. You got like a Dragon Knight, you got a Nightblade, you got some like Bowden. I don't know. So kill these. They're just kill them like normal. Shield up through them. That's not too bad. They're pretty easy to manage. Save the sigils for more difficult bosses. One healer, one fire guy. That's not the same fire guy as the Igneous Cistern fire one. As you can see, I just got hit by a ghost there. Took out half health and slows me. Here's the Daedroth. Move in a constant circle as you're fighting him, because it can avoid the fire damage or just shield up while your dots kill him. Or dodge roll through him, get behind him, do it like that. Just find a way to get around his fire breathing. Pick up gold ghosts. Once you pick up 3, you get a spectral explosion. Stuns everything on the map for like 5 seconds. Maybe 7, I don't know. Oh, also, yeah, I was mentioning that here as well. That Nightblade right there, they'll cloak and then they'll do like a Nightblade fear, like that, and they'll stun you. Or yeah, they'll stun you, and you want to make sure that you kill them quick or break free. Almost died there. Have the explosion, but I'm saving it for the Ogrim right here. Hits you with a fire dot. Hurts like crazy. Lasts for a few seconds. Will take half health. You also just, yeah, save your spectral explosions for him, or a shield sigil when he's up if you don't have the explosion. You can pick up those gold ghosts. They will last. So you have a minute and 30 seconds on that ghost before it disappears and you have no more spectral explosion charge. or no more ghost charge. You got to pick up 3. When you pick up a new one, it restarts it. So as you'll see here, I'm at 1 minute 8 seconds. Pick it up, back at 1 minute 30 seconds. So minute 30 seconds, then I pick up a third one. Once you get the third one and your spectral explosion is ready, you've got like 15 seconds, I think, or something like that to hit it. So I'm going to get it. I have 20 seconds to hit it. Yeah, bow, one shot, just dodge roll it or kill it, interrupt it, something like that. Don't use the spectral explosion here unless you see on your buff timer it's like about to run out, so you don't waste it. Now I picked up a ghost, reset it back up to 20 seconds. Or added 10 seconds, I think. Now you use the spectral explosion because you got an Ogrim up. Ogrim is way worse than that mini boss. I think Ogrims are the real mini bosses here. I'm sorry, I'm coughing so much too. I'm just from having the flu and then trying to explain everything and talk so much. I use a shield one here because I'm taking a lot of damage, don't have a lot of magic, and Daedroth. Even through the shield, he's like eating my shields completely. So don't let the mini bosses pick up the ghosts either. So those ghosts don't just fly around the map and you can only consume them. The ads can consume them as well, and it makes them more powerful. God forbid you let the final boss get it either. So 4th round, this mechanic is a little different on this round. It's totally different than anything here, and you'll see it again on the final round, but you probably shouldn't. If the round's lasting that long, you're probably dead anyway. So these summoners will come to the center, and they will summon a flame skeleton guy. I don't even know what he's called. So as you may think, like, oh, I killed him, he didn't get to summon it, whatever. Well, their progress is saved. So like if you let one go for a while and then kill it before it's summoned, then another summoner comes in, they only have to summon for like a second. So without trying to do math in your head of how long they were there, just kill them as fast as you can. I use Spectral Explosion here just because of the Daedroth. These guys are pretty easy to kill, so it'll depend on how much damage you can do, and I recommend just trying to take out the ads first, because they'll kill you. These guys won't, but the thing that they summon will, so it's just timing it. Hit that. Ogrim spawns on the last wave here. I didn't have a... what is it? Buff to hit, unfortunately. I'm about to, though, and I'm going to hit it because I got people summoning things. It's getting too close. That does stop and interrupt their summoning. There we go. All right, round 5. This is the only arena that has a 5th round before the final boss. Daedroth will spawn. I set up behind him. It's behind the power sigil. And burn him down as fast as possible. You can hit a shield sigil here. This guy, once he gets below 50%, he will try and do a major attack that spins fire in all directions, basically unavoidable. You can block it, but it will still stun you. So what I do is, but you want to save your ult. Don't use your ult yet. So try and burn through this guy as quick as you can without using your ult. You can use the sigils to help you, like I have the sigil, and I didn't really take any damage. Use one here, and just get him, burn him down. Don't even worry about ghosts. Just make sure that guy's dead. And then worry about the ads. Do some heavy attacks to get resources back if you have to, especially depending on your class. And then the true boss will spawn here soon. I think about being Daedroth first, though. Nope. 3 ads. And then I believe it's an Ogrim. Yep, just one Ogrim. The real boss. So you're about to see why we saved our ult. Because we're about to be at the boss. Alright, boss round. So, put your dots down right when you see the portal kind of pop up. So, dots now. Let him land in it. And put your ult down. You want to get him down below 70%. 70 or lower. Right at the start. He's at 72. So I hit him just a couple more times. And right under 70, he spawns these portals. If you don't do that fast enough... a Daedroth will spawn, and you're going to have to kill it because it'll put a dot on you. And if you go up top, the dot will still kill you. You got to get those Clanfears next to the portal, the corresponding one that's lit up, and that's how you get up top. Now, you're up here. You got to kill these crystals, but he shoots those things at you. If you don't hold block or dodge roll them, they will knock you back and off the platform. You got to drop down below, kill a Daedroth and a healer and a Clanfear to open the portal again to get back up top. So you don't want to. Then, as you can see, this wall, he slams down if you're not behind the wall. Same thing as the skulls. Now, he will spawn one skull, and then he's going to do another one shortly hereafter. And boom, dodge roll or hold block. Also, these Valken Scorias he's proccing. If you get hit by one, you're basically dead. Now he'll do that. You interrupt him. Anytime he's doing a channeled or a charged attack, just interrupt it. I couldn't block this one or anything because I had no stam. But luckily my shield keeps me alive. Interrupt. Spectral explosion because I had the ghosts. And now you just ult him down. He's stunned for a good 5 seconds, I think. And execute. And that's it. And that was my flawless run. It's not going to be that smooth. Mine wasn't even really that smooth. But if this is your first time going through it, or if you're just trying to learn how to do it, I strongly, strongly advise, checking this video out and trying to go through each fight in each arena very carefully, methodically, and do it how best suits you. You could be using or doing things differently than me that work for you, and that's fine, whatever makes most sense. But really go in with something comfortable. Enjoy the experience. Don't be too frightened by it. And do your best to just, try and learn the mechanics and play with them. And that's my best advice. And then once you get some practice under your belt, you'll be able to, get Flawless Conqueror someday. When I started out with it, it took me many, many runs to get it. So other than that, though, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.